UFC 253 just wrapped up and we have a new light heavyweight champion. Who took the belt from Dominic Reyes? Jan Blachowicz. Let's find out what happened. What's up, guys? This is your host for Middle Easy, and if you need anything else to watch, make sure you check out our full event coverage link below. First up, we have to talk about the main event of UFC 253, where Israel Adesanya defended his middleweight championship against Paulo Costa. We also got to hear from both of these fighters after their performances. So let us go ahead and start with the Instagram post from Paulo Costa after his loss to Israel Adesanya. He says, "This Saturday I did not perform the way I wanted to, but life goes on. I am healthy and I will be back stronger than ever." And then later in another Instagram story, he said, "I am fine, everything all right. Next year I'm back. Thanks for all messages and care. Thanks for all messages and care. I will be back. See you next year." And lastly, he says, "Thanks for all messages and care. I am fine, nothing serious. I will be back. See you next year." Now moving on to the post-fight press conference with Israel Adesanya, where he talked about his performance against Paulo Costa, Jon Jones, and much more. "Yeah, he tried to throw it in my face and I grabbed it with my left hand and hit him in his face with my right hand. And I was so fast with it, and then I just knew he's gonna do the same thing when he's like, 'Come, stay, come.' Yeah, and I knew if I walk to him and look at him, he's gonna push me. I'm 10 steps ahead. I told you guys I'm 10 steps ahead. You guys think these are just words, but I was 10 steps ahead. So I knew when he did that, he's gonna do the same thing in the fight. I told my coach, you'll see it on my movie because I even said it on camera. He's gonna do the same thing. The fight's gonna come, and I'm here come, and he did the same thing in the ring. He tried to pretend he was running around being silly, so you know I was humble tonight. I told you guys before the fight, I'm not a human punching bag. He's only fought human punching bags, guys who just stand there and cover up, and then they just let him hit them over and over. And I knew, because he was cutting me off, we are the best at city kickboxing. He closed off his left side so he can only give me his right side. But when he really tried hard to close off the left side, I had lots of room to move on the right side. He kicked me twice in the ribs, but it was nothing. I ate those kicks. The second one I made him pay for it, and then I think the third time he tried to do that, he went to the head, and I felt it go past. There was one punch he threw. Andre was telling me that there was one punch he threw, that when they watched it in slow motion, he thought it was gonna hit me, and I just happened to move my head at the last split second. Like what I said about Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva defended this belt so many times in the middleweight division, and then he went up to light heavyweight for little shows. I just wanted to mess up Jon Jones, and I still will. And next up, we have to talk about the co-main event of UFC 253, where Jan Blachowicz defeated Dominic Reyes to become the new UFC light heavyweight champion. Here's what Reyes had to say after his loss to Jan Blachowicz. "Not all of God's lessons feel good. Thank you, Dana White and UFC, for the opportunity. Thank you to my team and all my supporters. I'll come back stronger and better. I love this game and will continue to grow. Much love and congrats to Jan. Heck of a performance." And now let's move on to the post-fight interview with Jan Blachowicz, where he talked about his victory over Reyes and his potential next fight against Jon Jones. Listen, so much for fight of the year, but domination of the year. I mean, it was just weird because if you look at every other fight that Costa has had, he comes out and goes after people like they owe him money. And I think he landed one punch in this fight. Didn't try to grab him against the fence. Didn't try to put pressure on him. Kept going back to the center of the ring. Very weird, you know. No matter what it was, Adesanya put on a show. I mean, the first 3 kicks to the calf messed up his leg, then he hit him right on the side of the knee and had a huge bump on the side of the knee, then the shin to the eye, and just completely took him apart, and easily won the fight. And then he stays away. He stays on the outside, taking damage to that front leg. When he does rush in and get him up against the fence, he backs out to the center of the ring again, just never tried to get in close. I think he only landed one punch. Didn't really throw any punches at all, only threw kicks. It was very weird. I just sat there going, holy crap. And then obviously Adesanya just went to work, picked him apart piece by piece, made it look really easy. Listen, I've had people calling me left and right. I mean, everybody here knows. I mean, even the ladies, this is some guy code stuff. You know, it's just something you don't do. It's one of the dirtiest things you can do. Which, by the way, you know, because we're just talking about Diego Sanchez, you know, And Diego Sanchez is in there in a private conversation that I was having with Conor. When you're the number 2 or 3 ranked guy in the world, and you're telling me that you want to fight, but you want to fight unranked 39-year-old Diego Sanchez in a main event in Los Angeles. You know, at UFC 253, Jan Blachowicz defeated Dominic Reyes by knocking him out in the second round to become the new light heavyweight champion. After the fight, Reyes posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Not all of God's lessons feel good. Thank you, Dana White and UFC, for the opportunity. Thank you to my team and all my supporters. I'll come back stronger and better. I love this game and will continue to grow. Much love and congrats to Jan. Heck of a performance." Here's what Jan Blachowicz had to say at the press conference after the fight. "You know, it was a long journey for me, but finally I'm on the top. Amazing feeling. You know, there are no words how to describe this. You know, my mind is in a different place. You know, somewhere in space, I don't know. I think that he was going to put more pressure on me, but I put pressure on him, and that was a good idea. And I expected that he was going to come, as what we expected, you know. And like I told you before, we have a lot of good training partners in our gym, good kickboxer guys, so I was ready for his style. My left leg is always really good and really hard. You know, this is something when I even don't want to kick, it's going by itself. So I don't, and when I kicked first time or second time, I saw that he slowed down a little bit, so I knew that he felt it. But in the second round, when I saw that I broke his nose, I knew that the finish would be really, really soon. Yeah, when he was on the ground, I knew that a few more punches and it would be over. He would not get up anymore. My opponent was Dominic. Now I don't have an opponent, so John Jones. Why not? But nobody knows what he's doing right now. I think so. We will see. But he promised me this fight. After Daniel Cormier talks about Jan Blachowicz's performance over Dominic Reyes, so Jan Blachowicz just became the UFC light heavyweight champion. And boy, when I watch this dude fight, I'm confused as to how in the world he's getting these people. He's a bit slow, but he's really powerful, crazy tough, and dude's there for a real fight. And look, the whole build-up is about the right hand of Blachowicz. But boy, when that left hook landed and Dominic Reyes did the chicken dance, Dominic Reyes, remember, who just fought Jones to a 5-round decision. Many people thought he won. When he did the chicken dance, it was good night. It was supposed to be his big night. But hey, we play a game where nothing's promised, and tonight Jan Blachowicz once again proved that. So congratulations to the new King of Light Heavyweight division, Jan Blachowicz, and listen, I can't wait until Monday DC and Helwani as we pay respect to the King. Congrats Jan and congrats to your team buddy. New champ, Jan Blachowicz, Ariel Helwani and John Gooden also talk about Jan's victory. Here's the new champ, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be told when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one says, people hate showing off so much, but let's face the facts here. He calls out only the top challengers. He's walking the walk like a true champ is supposed to do. The second one says, happy for Jan, and really thought Costa would have put up more of a fight. The third one says, Costa's game plan for the fight, stick out tongue, act silly, take hits, pretend your leg doesn't hurt, don't hit back. Those were the 3 top comments from last